Well, started to keep track of the characters and then screw it. Don't worry about it. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, none of that fancy smashy stuff going on here. No editing, none of that stuff going on here. I don't have really good eye-catching thumbnails. I don't make good titles. The title of my video is the title of my book. So I'm talking about Backfire. And, that's what I'm talking about. It's book 16 in the Catherine Coulter FBI series featuring Sherlock and Savich. And I like it when they have a more prominent role. There's a couple coming down the line where they have minor roles, but this one is a little bit more prominent. And we have, be prepared for spoilers. I won't tell you the whodunit or how it ends, but I will spoil most of the book. So, we've got this stuff going on. Savich gets this note. For what you did, you deserve this. Someone hired a kid, an innocent kid, gave him $200. I want you to take this envelope. There's nothing wrong with this envelope. There's nothing bad. It has one piece of paper with one sentence on it. And I want you to take it to the FBI building on such and such a day at such and such a time. The kid takes it to the building. And Savich gets the note. They've examined it. They x-rayed it, the whole 9 yards. For what you did, you deserve this. And he's sitting there like, what's going on? I don't understand what this is all about. He's thinking about his previous cases in, what was it, Split Second? Or, the Kirsten thinking, she was Ted Bundy's kid. All that kind of stuff. So Savich doesn't really have time to think about it. He has a couple other people look into it. They get the videotape. They look at the videotape. They find the innocent kid that left the note. And they'll leave it at that. So it gets kind of shelved. I mean, if you come back to the note a few times in the book. Just a chapter mentioned here or there. What are you doing? What are you doing? Come here. Come here. You're driving me crazy. Come on. Come on. She's biting my wires. Come here. I haven't seen you all day. So, he gets, the note gets shelved because, you remember, Judge Ramsey Hunt. We met him in book 3, The Target. Him and, Molly have married. And of course, Emma was her daughter from her first marriage. And they now have 2 sons, Hal and Gage twins. And Molly calls Savich in the middle of the night. Ramsey has been shot. So, who shot Ramsey and why is the sole purpose of the book for a while. And we have a slew of characters, over 40 characters in this book. Now, some authors, we won't name names, but when a new character comes on, he's tall and he's broad and his eyes are brown and his hair is long and he's this and he's that. I've known somebody to go on for an entire chapter describing a person. We don't really get that in here. And I'm kind of glad for it that Catherine doesn't do too much of that. Some other authors will Even my all-time favorite author in the whole wide world, Miss Miss Nora Roberts. Um, After 60 books, I'm tired of hearing Mavis's. We don't need to know Mavis's background anymore, unless it's pertinent to the story, but it's really not anymore. We don't need to know how Eve arrested Mavis, and we just don't need that stuff anymore. We don't need all that background stuff. And a lot of the people, a lot of the agents in the book, we have seen. We've seen Dane Carver often. Ruth Warnicki Noble had her own book. I forget which one that was. Not Double Point Blank or Blowout. No, Blowout was the car tire. Or I forget which one. It was the one with the Winkles Cave and stuff like that, where she met Noble, the sheriff. And we'll see those guys in books again. But and Ollie Hamish, she's been in all the books, and we get some new characters in. Uh, so we get all these new characters, and we get our love interest. Now it's a very minor side story. They're still in the first week. They've just met. They've decided at the end of the book they'll pursue something, but that's it. There's no bedrooms. There's none of that. They don't do it the romance. Um, so that's like so your first story is the note. For what you did, you deserved this. Your second story is the investigation into who shot Judge Ramsey. And apparently, he was involved in this very high profile legal case. He was the judge. The attorneys, one of the prosecutors, is acting a little funny, and Ramsey tries to talk to him, and the guy clams up, and he doesn't say anything. So Ramsey wants to shelve the case for a little bit. He wants people to answer some questions. He's got some concerns. So the case gets put aside. The people are still in prison. They're still going to go through with the trial. But Ramsey had some questions he wanted answered. He tried to do some private one-on-ones in chambers, and the people just didn't talk. And then the attorney gets shot and killed, or strangled, or throat cut. I forget. Oh, throat cut. But that's a couple days later. Well, he goes missing. The prosecutor goes missing, and they don't find him for several chapters. But they find him. He's dead. Some kids witnessed it, thank God, and they said this person buried a person. But they're still trying to figure out why they want Judge Ramsey, and they're solely focused on this legal case. And they have the two defendants. It was a husband and wife, sort of, kind of. And they were planning on, they killed Mark Lindy. They poisoned him. They wanted his computer secrets, and they were working together on that. So they're on trial for his murder and also for computer stuff. And so they talked to them several times. And then someone makes a second attempt on Ramsey's life, and someone a little late spoiler, Sherlock also gets shot. It's just, a lot of stuff going on with the Ramsey case. A lot of stuff. They're investigating the court case, and they're investigating all the stuff around it, and the people involved in the court case. They're investigating all them. And it's like 10 little Indians. This one dies, then this one dies, then this one dies. And you're like, all right, what the hell is going on here? And it isn't until I took some notes. it isn't until almost the end of the book, uh, 296, 297, Savich has a light bulb moment. And he's like, oh, good God. And because, like, the whole time I'm thinking, these are separate cases. The case in DC, for what you did, you deserve this, is this case. Ramsey getting shot is that one. You have your little bit of romance in the middle, and that doesn't even start till like the middle of the book. The characters don't even meet till way down the road. And then they get involved in some stuff too. And there's all this stuff going on. And I'm thinking, all right, it's two separate cases. There have been books in the past where they start the first case in the beginning, like, say, let's say chapters 1 to 3, just hypothetically. And then they drop it. And then they pursue the second case the whole book. And then they'll come back to the first case at the end of the book. And then there's been a couple of times and where the cases have been completely 100% separate. There's been a couple of those with the Catherine Coulter books. And I've talked about it in my videos where the cases were 100% disconnected. They didn't even matter. Then there's been some books where the cases were separate. They were two separate cases. And by the end, they had merged and made one full case. And this is one of those cases that this little itty bitty thing that happens in the beginning of the book, and it gets shelved. And yeah, they approach it a few chapters in between. They talk to the kid about who gave him the note and all this delivery stuff and blah, 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 blah. But it kind of really gets shelved. The stuff with Ramsey takes precedent through the whole book. And we will see these people again. We will see Emma and Molly and Ramsey again in future books. They do show up again in future books. I know that. But the whole book is centered around Ramsey's case. And it isn't until almost the end of the case, and Savich has this light bulb moment, and he goes, good God. And he figures it out. And the cases merge. And then Catherine throws in a twist. They sort of catch the bad guy. And they had the bad guy, sort of, kind of, when a secondary person shoots Sherlock, and the original suspect goes off. And the person that shot Sherlock goes after the person that Sherlock was. It gets really complicated and meshy, and it intertwines, and it gets multi-layered at the end. It really does. So, we have a whole bunch of new characters, but I'm going to say, for the most part, I mean, you know Dane Carver, you know Ruth Warnicki Noble, you know Ollie Hamish, your new, person of interest is Lieutenant Virginia Trolley, and this other half of the special is Special Agent Harry Kristoff. And then we have a bunch of other people. We see DeLeon again. We saw him in the Ted Bundy case a couple of books ago. He's been recurring in a couple of books. Every time they go out to California, they get DeLeon back out. And you've kind of gotten to know him from all the books. And we don't see Mason, but we see Sherlock's parents again for a brief period of time. And they help out with Sean. And Sean has decided that he's marrying 3 women. his two neighbors, and then he wants to marry Molly. So he's only what, 5 or 6 right now. So we'll see what happens. We have to get to Flashpoint, and I'm kind of sad. I really am, because I don't like it when an author declares that's it. And I had 2 authors do that at book 13, Kim Harrison and Charlene Harris. But Sookie Stackhouse was amazing, but Charlene decided, "Yep, that's it." And there was just so much more to tell in Sookie's story. But Charlene Harris tried a couple other things and was like, you know what? Let's go back to Rachel. So we've got some more Rachel. We just did the last one the other day. So check that out. But we've got to move on to Bombshell, book 17. Are you ready for Bombshell? Well, stay tuned. In the meantime, I hope you enjoy Backfire. Remember your 3 points. There's a little bit of romance from Virginia and Harry. You've got the letter in the beginning of the book, for what you did, you deserve this. And you've got who shot Judge Ramsey Hunt. Why did they shoot him? What was going on there? So those are the questions you have to answer when you read the book. And I hope you enjoy it. It's good. It's always good to check in with a new friend. Have a good one. Enjoy.